Welcome to my channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today we are looking at a quarter that almost every American has seen, but very few people realize that one version of this 1999 New Jersey state quarter has sold for thousands of dollars. That it's just 25 cents, right? That's what most people think. But this coin kicked off one of the most popular coin programs in US history, and hidden among the millions struck are rare errors and high-grade examples that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. In this video, I'll show you what makes the 1999 New Jersey quarter special, the mistakes to look for, and the real auction prices that might surprise you. Let's take a close look. Start with a clean close-up of the front. You'll see George Washington facing left. The words United States of America across the top. Liberty above his head. In God we trust to the left. And the date 1999 at the bottom. This was the first year of the 50-state quarters program, launched by the United States Mint. That alone makes it historic. Now flip the coin, the reverse is where things get exciting. The design honors New Jersey and features George Washington crossing the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War. You can see Washington standing in the boat, soldiers rowing, and the powerful scene of a turning point in American history. Above the image, it says New Jersey 1787. Below, Crossroads of the Revolution. Zoom in closely on the details of the boat and the soldiers. The fine lines. The waves in the river. The dramatic pose of Washington. For many collectors, this is one of the most artistic designs of the entire series. Now here's the part that gets interesting. In 1999, the New Jersey quarter was struck in huge numbers at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Millions upon millions entered circulation. So in everyday worn condition, this coin is worth exactly 25 cents, but condition changes everything. If you find one in uncirculated condition, with no wear and strong luster, the value increases. A typical uncirculated example might be worth $1 to $3. Not life-changing, but definitely more than face value. Now let's talk about errors. Because this is where things get serious, some 1999 New Jersey quarters have been found with off-center strikes, where the design is shifted and part of the coin is blank. Others show double strikes, where the coin was struck twice by the dies, creating a dramatic overlapping image. These kinds of mint errors can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on how strong and clear the error is. There are also coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine finding a New Jersey quarter design on a blank meant for a different coin. That's rare, and collectors pay strong premiums for those. But here's what really shocks people. High-grade examples graded at Mint State 68 by professional grading companies have sold at auction for several $1,000s. That's because while millions were made, very few survive in nearly perfect condition with flawless surfaces and sharp detail. Tiny marks, even under magnification, can lower the grade and the price dramatically. So picture this. You have a roll of 1,999 quarters sitting in front of you. You're checking each one carefully under bright light. Most look normal. Then you find one with incredible shine, no visible scratches, and razor-sharp detail on Washington's coat and the boat lines. That's the kind of coin that could be worth far more than 25 cents, and there's another angle to this story. This coin represents the beginning of a collecting craze. The 50-state quarters program brought millions of new collectors into the hobby. People started checking change again. Kids filled maps with quarters from every state. And it all started in 1999. That historical importance adds emotional value, not just monetary value. Now let me ask you something. Do you remember collecting state quarters when they first came out? Do you still have a 1999 New Jersey quarter saved somewhere? And have you ever checked it closely for errors or condition? Let's quickly recap. The 1999 New Jersey state quarter features George Washington crossing the Delaware River and celebrates New Jersey as the crossroads of the Revolution. In circulated condition, it's worth face value. In uncirculated condition, it may be worth a few dollars. Error coins can bring hundreds of dollars. And top-grade certified examples have sold for several $1,000s at auction, all from a coin most people spend without thinking twice. Top 2. Today we are looking at a quarter that most people spent on coffee or gas, but one perfect example of this 2002 Louisiana state quarter has sold for thousands of dollars. That sounds crazy for a 25-cent coin. But the 2002 Louisiana quarter is part of one of the most collected coin series in American history, and hidden among the millions produced are rare high-grade pieces and mint errors that collectors fight over. In this video, I'll show you exactly what makes this coin special, what mistakes to look for, and how much the best examples have actually sold for. Let's take a close look at the coin itself. Start with a tight shot of the front. You'll see George Washington facing left, just like on every Washington quarter. Around him are the words United States of America, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 2002. Nothing unusual at first glance. Now flip it over. This is where Louisiana shines. The reverse design features a pelican, wings partially spread, representing the state bird. To the left, you'll see a trumpet, honoring Louisiana's deep connection to jazz music. And just below, the outline of the Louisiana Purchase territory. Across the top, it reads Louisiana 1812. And at the bottom, it says Louisiana Purchase. Zoom in closely on the trumpet and the pelican's feathers. The detail is sharper than many people realize. This design celebrates culture, music, and history all in one small coin. Now here's the part most people never think about. In 2002, millions of Louisiana quarters were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In circulated condition, they're worth exactly 25 cents. But condition is everything. If you find one in bright, uncirculated condition with strong luster and no wear, it could be worth $1 to $3. That's already more than face value. But the real jump happens in very high grades. Coins graded mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services can sell for several $100s. And in rare cases, mint state 68 examples have sold at auction for over $2,000. That's because flawless modern quarters are surprisingly hard to find. Tiny contact marks from the minting process can lower the grade instantly. Think about that for a second. These coins were made for everyday use. They were dumped into large bins, transported in bags, and handled in bulk. Even before they entered circulation, many picked up small marks. So finding one that looks nearly perfect under magnification is tougher than you'd expect. But wait, there's more. Error coins add another level of excitement. Some 2002 Louisiana quarters have been found with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing. Others show double strikes, where the coin was struck twice, creating a dramatic overlapping image. These types of mint errors can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on how strong and visible the mistake is. There are also examples with die cracks or die chips, especially around the lettering or design elements. A noticeable die break can make a coin more collectible. Imagine going through a roll of quarters from the bank. Most look the same. Then you spot one with a slightly shifted design or unusual doubling on the lettering. That's the moment collectors live for. And here's something else that makes this coin meaningful. The Louisiana quarter celebrates the Louisiana Purchase, one of the most important land deals in American history. In 1803, the United States acquired a massive amount of territory from France, doubling the size of the country. This coin connects modern collectors to that historic moment. It's not just money. It's history in your hand. So let me ask you, do you have a 2002 Louisiana quarter sitting in your change jar right now? Have you ever checked it under bright light for marks, shine, or possible errors? And which state quarter is your favorite from the entire series? Let's quickly recap. The 2002 Louisiana state quarter features a pelican, a trumpet for jazz, and a reference to the Louisiana Purchase. In circulated condition, it's worth face value. In uncirculated condition, it may bring a few dollars. High-grade certified examples can sell for hundreds, and in rare top grades, auction prices have exceeded $2,000. Error coins can also command strong premiums depending on the type and severity of the mistake, all from a coin most people don't even look at twice. Top 3. Today we are looking at a quarter that most people have spent without thinking, but one near-perfect example of this 1999 Pennsylvania state quarter has sold for thousands of dollars. It's just 25 cents. That's what it says on the coin. But this was one of the very first coins released in the 50-state quarters program, and hidden among the millions produced are rare high-grade pieces and valuable mint errors. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what to look for, why collectors chase this coin, and how much the best examples have actually brought at auction. And trust me, condition is going to surprise you. Let's take a close look. Start with a tight shot of the front. You see George Washington facing left. Around him are the words United States of America, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 1999. This was the first year the state quarter series launched, and excitement was everywhere. People who had never collected coins before suddenly started checking their change. Now flip the coin over. The reverse is all about Pennsylvania. You'll see an outline of the state. Inside that outline stands the Statue of Commonwealth, which sits atop the Pennsylvania State Capitol dome. To the left is a keystone, symbolizing Pennsylvania as the Keystone State. The coin reads Pennsylvania 1787 and Virtue, Liberty, and Independence. Zoom in on the statue. The details in the flowing robes. The raised arm holding the staff. It's impressive for a coin meant for everyday circulation. Here's where things get interesting. In 1999, the Pennsylvania quarter was struck in huge numbers at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In circulated condition, it's worth face value. You can still find them in pocket change today, but condition changes everything. If you find one that's uncirculated, with bright luster and no signs of wear, it might be worth $1 to $3. Not bad for a quarter. But collectors aren't just looking for uncirculated coins. They're looking for the best of the best. High-grade examples graded mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services can sell for hundreds of dollars. And in extremely rare cases, mint state 68 coins have sold at auction for over $2,000. That's because modern coins are mass-produced, and tiny contact marks happen easily during minting and transport. Finding one that looks nearly flawless under magnification is surprisingly difficult. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where it gets exciting. Some 1999 Pennsylvania quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes. That means part of the design is missing because the blank wasn't properly aligned during minting. Others show double strikes, where the coin was struck more than once, creating overlapping images. There are also die cracks and die chips to look for, especially around the lettering or near the keystone. These small mint mistakes can make a coin much more desirable to collectors. Imagine opening a roll of 1999 quarters from the bank. You're checking each one carefully under bright light. Most look ordinary. Then you find one with a perfectly clean surface, sharp edges, and strong detail on the statue and state outline. That could be a high-grade coin worth far more than 25 cents, and think about the timing. This coin came out at the start of a national collecting craze. The 50-state quarters program became one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history. Families collected them together. Kids filled maps with each new state release. It brought a whole new generation into coin collecting. That historical importance adds to its appeal. So let me ask you something. Do you remember collecting state quarters back in 1999? Do you still have a Pennsylvania quarter saved somewhere? Have you ever checked it closely for marks, shine, or possible errors? Here's the recap. The 1999 Pennsylvania state quarter features the state outline, the Statue of Commonwealth, and the keystone symbol. In circulated condition, it's worth face value. In uncirculated condition, it can be worth a few dollars. High-grade certified examples have sold for hundreds, and in rare top grades, auction prices have exceeded $2,000. Error coins can also bring strong premiums depending on the type and quality of the mistake, all from a coin that many people barely glance at. Top 4. Today we are looking at a quarter that millions of people have spent on snacks, gas, and groceries, but one nearly perfect example of this 2000 Virginia state quarter has sold for thousands of dollars. It sounds unbelievable. 25 cents turning into serious money. But this coin is part of the early years of the 50-state quarters program, and hidden among the millions made are rare high-grade pieces and eye-catching mint errors that collectors actively search for. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what makes the 2000 Virginia quarter special, the small details you should inspect, and the real prices top examples have brought at auction. Let's start with the coin itself. Hold it up to the camera and show the front. You'll see George Washington facing left. Around him are the familiar words United States of America, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 2000. This is standard for the Washington quarter, but remember, the year 2000 marked the second year of the state quarter series, when excitement was still building fast. Now flip the coin, the reverse is where Virginia tells its story. You'll see 3 ships sailing across the water. These are the Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, the ships that carried settlers to Jamestown in 1607. Above the ships, it reads Virginia 1788. And just below, Jamestown 1607 to 2007, marking the upcoming 400th anniversary of America's first permanent English settlement. Zoom in closely on the sails and the waves beneath the ships. The fine lines, the layered design, the sense of motion. For a small coin, it captures a huge piece of history. Now here's the part most people overlook. That in 2000, millions of Virginia quarters were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In circulated condition, they are worth face value. You can still find them in everyday change, but condition is everything. If you find one that's uncirculated, with bright luster and no visible wear, it may be worth $1 to $3. That's a small jump, but it's just the beginning. Collectors are especially interested in coins graded mint state 67 or higher. At that level, the coin must have very few marks, strong eye appeal, and sharp detail. And here's where it gets surprising. Mint state 68 examples have sold at auction for over $2,000. That's because modern coins are mass-produced, and even tiny contact marks from other coins can lower the grade instantly. Truly flawless examples are rare. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things get exciting. Some 2000 Virginia quarters have been found with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank wasn't properly aligned. Others show double strikes, where the coin was struck twice, creating overlapping images. These types of dramatic mint errors can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on their strength and clarity. There are also die cracks and die chips to watch for, especially around the lettering or ship details. A noticeable die break running through the design can make a coin far more interesting to collectors. Imagine opening a fresh roll of quarters from the bank. You're scanning each one under bright light. Most look ordinary. Then you find one with blazing luster, razor-sharp sails, and almost no marks. That could be the kind of coin that earns a top grade and a serious price tag. And beyond the money, there's the history. This coin celebrates Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in America. Those 3 ships represent the beginning of a story that shaped an entire nation. Holding this coin is like holding a small reminder of that turning point in history. That's part of what makes state quarters so popular. They're not just currency. They're miniature history lessons. So let me ask you something. Do you have a 2000 Virginia quarter saved somewhere? Have you ever checked it under magnification for marks or possible mint errors? And which state quarter from the series means the most to you? Here's a quick recap. The 2000 Virginia state quarter features 3 historic ships tied to Jamestown. In circulated condition, it's worth face value. In uncirculated condition, it can be worth a few dollars. High-grade certified examples have sold for hundreds, and in rare mint state 68 condition, auction prices have exceeded $2,000. Error coins can also command strong premiums depending on the type and visibility of the mistake, all from a coin most people barely notice. Top 5. Today we are looking at a quarter that most people barely notice, but one nearly flawless example of this 2006 North Dakota state quarter has sold for more than $2,000. That's right. A simple 25-cent coin. And yet, in the right condition, it can be worth a small fortune. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what makes the 2006 North Dakota quarter special, the details you should check immediately, the rare errors collectors hunt for, and the real auction prices that prove this coin is more than pocket change. Let's start with the front. Hold the coin up and zoom in. You'll see George Washington facing left, just like on every Washington quarter. Around him are the words United States of America, Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust, and the date 2006. It looks standard. Nothing unusual at first glance. Now flip it over. This is where North Dakota tells its story. The reverse features two grazing American bison standing in front of a beautiful landscape. In the background, you'll see the rugged terrain of the Badlands. The coin reads North Dakota 1889, marking the year it became a state. Move in closer with the camera. Look at the texture in the bison's fur. The detail in the landscape. The layered hills behind them. For a modern circulation coin, the artwork is impressive, and here's something interesting. The American bison has appeared on U.S. coins before, most famously on the Buffalo nickel. So this design quietly connects modern collectors to classic American coin history. Now let's talk numbers. In 2006, millions of North Dakota quarters were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In circulated condition, they are worth face value. You can still find them in everyday change, but condition changes everything. If you find one in bright uncirculated condition, with strong luster and no wear, it might be worth $1 to $3. That's a small premium. But collectors aren't just looking for average uncirculated coins. They're looking for perfection. High-grade examples. Graded mint state 67 can sell for several $100s. And in rare cases, mint state 68 examples have sold at auction for over $2,000. That's because modern coins are produced in massive quantities, and tiny contact marks happen easily. A coin with nearly flawless surfaces under magnification is surprisingly rare. Now here's where it gets even more exciting. There are error coins. Some 2006 North Dakota quarters have been found with off-center strikes. That means the coin design is partially missing because the blank wasn't aligned properly during minting. Others show double strikes, where the coin was struck twice, creating overlapping images. There are also die cracks and die chips to look for, especially around the bison or the lettering. A visible die break running through the design can make a coin much more collectible. Imagine opening a bankroll of quarters and spreading them out under bright light. Most look normal. Then one stands out. The surfaces are clean. The bison's details are sharp. The fields are smooth and bright. That's the kind of coin that could earn a top grade and command serious money. And think about the symbolism here. The bison represents strength and the American frontier. The Badlands reflect North Dakota's rugged beauty. This coin captures the spirit of wide open spaces and wildlife. It's more than currency. It's a small piece of American identity. Let me ask you something. Do you have a 2006 North Dakota quarter in your change jar? Have you ever checked it under magnification for marks or possible mint errors? And which state quarter from the series is your personal favorite? Here's the recap. The 2006 North Dakota state quarter features two bison in front of the Badlands landscape. In circulated condition, it's worth face value. In uncirculated condition, it can bring a few dollars. High-grade certified examples have sold for hundreds, and in rare mint state 68 condition, auction prices have exceeded $2,000. Error coins can also bring strong premiums depending on the type and visibility of the mistake, all from a coin most people don't even look at twice. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2006 North Dakota quarter, hit the like button and subscribe for more coin discoveries. Drop a comment below and tell me if you've ever found a valuable quarter in your change, or which coin you'd love to add to your collection next. And keep watching, because the next hidden treasure might already be sitting in your pocket.